what I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. And I love that. So it's my thoughts inside which are creating all the problems and are sort of going out as a projection. And that's what I see. And now I would take it even further. It's like also creating manifestation. So the thoughts I'm holding, like this type of person is a bad person or whatever, by doing that, I see that in the world, but partly because I'm creating it as well. So as that holding with thoughts in my head, that's the world that tends to come to me. This is quite interesting. It's very similar to 12 steps. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by willing to do so. You know, and I think with the Course, one of the things it's hammered into me is to see everyone as sinless or innocent, or the pureness in everyone. And then it's to let go of the judgment. But for me, then it would have an alternate effect. I remember once I go to these 12-step meetings, and I had one of the lessons, which was something like to forgive everyone, to hold no judgment. And I went into this beatific bliss, just looking at everyone, because it was like, at that moment, it was like I was learning. I was just willing to let go of any resentment that I was holding against each individual. And I was doing it. Suddenly I went into bliss. It was like, oh. And then it was like this whole bliss pervaded the room. So what was preventing that, you know, what normally prevents just this lovely sense of peace and love in the rooms was just that unconsciously I'm holding resentments against those. And when I was using the Course, it just lifted. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. If I have no private thoughts, I cannot see a private world. Even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. Yet that sharing was a sharing of nothing. I can also call upon my real thoughts, which share everything with everyone. As my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others, so my real thoughts awaken the real thoughts in them. And the world my real thoughts show me will dawn on their sight as well as mine. I'd just like to make a comment. Does someone want to come in here? I like this one. So, even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. For me, that's a very, my take on that is it's a very advanced idea that this whole world is just the collective madness of everyone who's indulging in thoughts of separation and limitation, which brings in the whole world, whole worlds of separation, and everyone reinforces these worlds of separation, you know. One of the key ideas for me that creates the world of separation is the very strongly held belief, I am the body. And then this then projects that everyone else is a body. So if I suddenly say, this is my body, that has great power to sort of make everyone believe that they are their bodies as well. Or if I say, oh, you know, the economic climate here in London is very, very bad. And everyone else can also see that, and so the shared beliefs, and so it's like a shared reality. So even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. So that's for me like the meaning of that. Yet, and this is quite profound, yet that sharing was a sharing of nothing. This is quite, I like that. It's a sharing of nothing, because all the ideas within the collect, and different people are in different levels of the illusion, but all the ideas we're sharing in the world of separation are a sharing of nothing, which is that in absolute truth there is no separation, and all of these belief systems that we subscribe to are not the absolute truth. So I can call upon my real thoughts, which share everything with everyone. The real thoughts are, well, for me that's, I wouldn't write it that way. I share the real thoughts are no thoughts, which are the unity and the stillness and the underlying peace and love, where there is no separation or thought of limitation. So as my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others, my real thoughts awaken the real thoughts in them. I like that because that's, for me, I love Muji, when Muji shares. He'll often say to the audience, I'm speaking to consciousness, is what he'll say. And look at the people in the audience and say, I'm sharing to consciousness. And that basically what he's trying to say is that when you start sharing from the ego, you're sharing rubbish. So there's just the consciousness is like the unity, and he almost for me when he shares, he doesn't believe the stories that are coming, because there's only unity and oneness that is going. All of this separation, limited stuff is not real, and that's what I believe he does, Muji, because he's sharing from that place, of that non-dual place. Then it does awaken the non-dual. In the audience, suddenly it awakens the energy. And quite often when I've been in satsangs, it's been like I've been blissed out just hearing someone talking at the truth, that separation is not real, that thoughts are limitation, hooking into all of this, or going to the witness observer of everything. Then suddenly that awakens in me the truth. So that's the real thoughts awaken the truth in others, and thoughts of separation bind others. How can I know who I am when I see myself as under constant attack? Pain, illness, loss, age and death seem to threaten me. All my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of a world I cannot control. Yet perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. And for me, from Hawkins' work, you see, so when I'm in the world of attack, then I suffer pain, illness, loss, age, and death. Well, they seem to threaten me. For me, actually, the seeming to threaten me is actually my truth cannot be saved. My truth is invulnerable. However, the image I have of myself, when the image I have of myself is attacking the world and judging the world or seeing the world as being wrong, then it seems the image of myself seems to suffer pain, illness, age, and death, and seems to threaten the very source of my existence. And also, for me, it's from kinesiology, we see that whenever you enter into like judgment or resentment or self-pity or fear or guilt, all your acupuncture meridians in the physical body stop. So your muscles go weak. So it's like if I judge somebody, then instantly, like my energy lines will be blocked, and then it'll be, then pain starts to set into the body, aches and pains and aging and all of that starts to occur. So vulnerability is the case. But if I don't do that, then I'll be in perfect security. And that for me is true. If you don't judge, then the physical body is in good health, and a different world is perceived. The world I see holds my fearful self-image in place and guarantees its continuance. So it's like if I hold fearful images or resentments, whatever, it's like what we were saying earlier, it'll continue. It's guaranteeing its continuance until it's forgiven and the pattern is released. So that pattern doesn't keep manifesting over and over and over again. So while I hold on to any kind of attack thought or judgment or resentment or self-hatred or whatever, then it creates that continuation. And then also either physical illness results or certain patterns. You meet a certain type of person again and again and again, or a certain situation is recreated over and over again. So, but I would let the door behind this world be opened for me, that I look past it to the world that reflects the love of God. And for me, it's like when you let go of resentments or judgments or attack thoughts, it's like you look past. There's like a unifying stillness, and there's no hooking in. One is no longer hooking into form, or hooking into time, or hooking into location. It's like a timeless presence. So there's more of a unified field where love and peace reside. So no judgment exists in that. So behind every image I've made, the truth remains unchanged. So only actually the truth is unchanged right here, right now. So what's preventing the unchanging truth, which is always here, timelessly present, is the images I've made. And it's like, again, so the thoughts I've made of judgment, projection, or identification with the body are just creating a whole world where the timelessness, or this, on a higher level timelessness, or also seeing within the physical world that sinlessness, which the Course talks about, that there is no error. And also what was being said before about radical acceptance. As you get into radical acceptance of things, then suddenly the ego ceases its judgment, and then the timeless reality behind it stops. So